Hello and welcome to another edition of the JabJab Show. On this video, it's time for story time once again. Just want to just say, there's a little change of location. Basically, we've had a little move around with the fireplace. Well, I was fireplace in there to give an impression of it. Feeling all humbly and stuff, or Jackanory kind of thing. Anyway, so just to let you know, the book this time I'm pretending to read from is the Peanuts collection. That's showing up there. I've been a big fan of Peanuts, Snoopy and Charlie Brown and things like that for a long time. For many years since I was a kiddywink. This is an excellent book, by the way. It's got a lot of things that you can like envelopes and things you can mess around with. It's not just a simple book. It goes into a little sleeve. But I digress. So love it. I've got loads of little paperbacks as well and DVDs of the films I was watching as a kid. For Charlie Brown and Snoopy and Linus and Lucy and Pigpen and Linus and Linus, Spike the dog, Snoopy's brother, and Woodstock as well, obviously. Lots of them. Lucy, Peppermint Patty, Marcy. I'm just waffling. Anyway, time for today's story, which is called No Proof of Ownership. So make sure you're sitting comfortably for this one. Alright, here we go. There you go. The spaceship continued towards planet Earth. Commander Netscape watched as his underling, Cadet MySpace, flew towards Egypt. They are aliens from a faraway planet called Lycos 3.11. And we were on a mission to take back something that their ancestors built during the First Dynasty, 3100 BC Earth time, according to Wikipedia. They parked their ship in Memphis in Lower Egypt and got out and stretched their legs after all the travelling, and it took them just over 15 Earth years to get here. A third alien, Chef MapQuest, joined them on the sand as they surveyed the area. They knew they were in the right place. These were the pyramids they were looking for. Commander Netscape ordered Cadet MySpace to get the doohickey-tron from the ship so they could raise the pyramids from the ground for easy transportation. Just then, a couple of Egyptian teenagers rode into view on their camels, Ebo and Pili. The two Egyptians got off their camels and stared in amazement at how the aliens are using their doohickey-tron. The ground started rumbling beneath the pyramids. Ebo shouted to the aliens, asking what they were doing. The aliens had a device which allowed them to communicate in 6 million forms of language, and Egyptian was one of them. For convenience of the story, the device also allows them to understand their language as well. Commander Netscape informed them that they're taking the pyramids back to their planet to sell them. Their ancestors built them. Ebo and Pili are your typical dropout teenagers. Their education and upbringing is patchy to say the least. They couldn't say for certain who has the ownership of the pyramids. All they knew is that they're years old and they have dead pharaohs in them or something. Commander Netscape assured the two that he is not one to mess with. He ordered Cadet MySpace and Chef MapQuest to push the Egyptians to one side as he proceeded to operate the doohickey-tron to raise the pyramids. The camels panicked as they saw everything going on and let out a series of loud camel noises. Their screams alerted the King of Egypt, who ran into the scene to see what was going on. He was on a camel, and he was King Ra, who announced proudly to the aliens who he was and ordered them to stop levitating pyramids and explain themselves. Commander Netscape knew he could crush this posh-looking human with ease, but it's against his species to annihilate such puny races without explaining things first. And as commander, he had to set an example. He asked the Egyptians to follow him into one of the pyramids to check the hieroglyphics that were put there by his ancestors. In the pyramid, Commander Netscape pointed to the drawing of flying saucers, said that they were his ancestors drawn there. They built all the pyramids, and the message below is translated into Lycosian, saying "Own over Lycos 3.11. Thinking on his feet, King Ra asked for identification, proof that they were indeed descendants of the supposed Lycos 3.11 and not some other imposter aliens from some other faraway planet. The aliens looked at each other. No one had valid ID on them. After a bit of whispering together, Commander Netscape started to call someone on his spaceophone. Chef MapQuest hushed the Egyptians when they asked what was going on. Commander Netscape spoke for a bit in his native Lycoses, then handed his spaceophone to King Ra, said it was his mum. His mum told King Ra that they were definitely descendants of the aliens who made the pyramids all those years ago. They're from Lycos 3.11, honestly. King Ra hung up the phone and said it wasn't sufficient proof. Theory she could have been anyone, and as it was clear that Commander Netscape talked to her for a bit before handing it over, he could have told her to lie, as he was talking in his alien language. He asked the commander why he wanted the pyramids anyway. The three aliens all spoke about how their world is in financial dire straits, with most of the population wanting money for nothing, and with everyone borrowing from their respective states to buy certain kitchen appliances with high interest rates, the situation has become almost unsustainable. It was then mentioned that the aliens owned the pyramids on Earth, and they could fetch a very high price if sold, and it's estimated that the money from the sale would pay off most of the planet's debt. The harrowing story moved the Egyptians to tears. King Ra declared that the pyramids, apart from that lion one and a few others, are indeed handed to the aliens. Commander Netscape thanked the Egyptians and told them that he had no interest in the thousands of sarcophaguses with their ancestors in. A deal was made. The aliens took the pyramids, as discussed, back to their home planet. King Ra ordered Ebo and Pilly to construct loads of sheds to house the coffins. The end. Well, there you go. Bit daft. It's not a true to life thing. This isn't a documentary. Work of fiction. Well, my conspiracy theorists. Maybe aliens did make the pyramids. I don't know. Thanks for watching, and I like pictures and stuff that I do as well. Next week there'll be another story. So see you later.